Welcome, teachers, administrators, and district coordinators. My name is Mary McCarley, and I am the National Content Specialist with Goodheart-Willcox. In this presentation, I'll provide you a brief overview of Introduction to Medical Terminology, and will show you how to navigate the online platform. Introduction to Medical Terminology focuses on the essential concepts of human anatomy and physiology, and the common medical terms related to the body systems. Correlated to precision exams, medical terminology exam, students will have the opportunity to earn a career skills certificate in medical terminology. Chapters are organized by the different body systems. Core terminology is emphasized in the first chapter, and the following chapters build upon this foundation. Each chapter opens with visually stunning images to engage young readers and chapter objectives. Also included in the chapter opener is a case study that builds upon medical terminology concepts and critical thinking skills. Students refer back to this case study throughout the chapter. Lastly, each chapter opens with medical word parts, which focuses on the different word parts as it relates to the specific body system. Throughout the pages of the textbook, you will see activity icons as seen next to medical word parts. By clicking on the icon, students will go to the GW Learning Companion website for an interactive learning experience. Our expert authors were intentional about making sure the text is visually appealing, readable, and interesting for your students. Engage students with high interest features interwoven throughout the text. Ponder This features challenges students to critically consider the aspects of medical terminology and human anatomy. Inquiring Minds features take students on journeys that unearth and analyze topics of interest. Fascinating Fact features delivers thought-provoking nuggets of knowledge to keep students attentive and interested. In addition, the Careers to Consider feature introduces students to popular healthcare careers and the best pathway to pursue these careers. Other embedded features include Team Challenge and Student Challenge. Team Challenge encourages collaboration among students while prompting them to use their knowledge in small groups or teams. Student Challenges give students the opportunity to practice the skills learned in each chapter. Confirm student learning with the chapter review material. There are 4 full pages of activities and exercises at the end of every chapter. The first page includes an activity in which the student has to identify the anatomical structure. In addition, there are several terminology activities which include word parts, anatomy and physiology, word construction, word surgery, and matching. Word construction, matching, and word surgery exercises invite students to apply and assess their knowledge by building and dissecting medical terms. In addition, there are pronunciation, abbreviation, and search the source activities. Search the source involves analyzing data and drawing conclusions. Lastly, there is a medical records practice activity that relates to the case study I mentioned earlier. After every 2 chapters, there is a cumulative review that assesses and reinforces concepts and terminology learned in previous chapters. There are several activities, including a medical transcription activity in which students must convert descriptions and terms into abbreviations. As I mentioned earlier, our textbook is interactive, allowing students to click on icons within the pages. These icons will lead students to the companion website to reinforce learning for each chapter. Some of these activities include animations, labeling activities, matching activities, vocabulary games, and e-flashcards. Reinforce new concepts with the student workbook. which is available in both print and digital formats and includes over 200 unique creative activities developed by the authors during their many years of teaching healthcare courses. Teachers, you will also have access to our extensive instructor resources to help you plan and facilitate your course. All instructional materials are found on a convenient online bookshelf and accessible at home, at school, or on the go. Support materials include an Instructor's Edition, which provides tips, teaching strategies, and answer keys. Detailed, ready-made lesson plans. Ready-to-use editable PowerPoint presentations. And handouts, which include labeling activities, flashcards, exit activities, and quizzes. Teachers can also create customized chapter tests using the ExamView software. Lastly, teachers will have access to textbook, workbook, diagram, and quiz answer keys to make grading easier. These are the instructional resources for teachers in the online Instructor Resources. Teachers will have access to the student textbook, the companion website, student workbook, Instructor's Edition, and the online Instructor Resources. The student online platform will be very similar, but will not include the Instructor's Edition or Instructor Resources. For those schools who choose to integrate with a learning management system, your online platform will appear differently than what you see on the screen, but the resources will be the same. Now, let's take a look at the online platform. This is the online platform for teachers for Introduction to Medical Terminology. I'll show you how to navigate the resources. First, let's look at the textbook. The textbook is divided by chapters. I'll click on Chapter 6, the Cardiovascular System. On the left-hand side, you'll see a toolbar. The plus allows you to zoom in and see this page even closer. Minus, zoom out. The third button down, or the Contents button, takes you to another chapter of the book. Click again to close. The fourth button down, or the Resource tab, takes you directly to the companion website. Remember, the companion website will provide an interactive experience for students. Click again to close. Lastly, both students and teachers can print pages of the textbook. This can be extremely helpful if you have a student with an IEP or 504 who needs to mark a hard copy of the text. There's arrows on the left and the right that take you to the next page of the book. We are on page 144. 144 of the digital text will be the same as 144 of the hard copy of the text. You can jump to another page of the book by typing in the page number here and clicking. You can also search our book by a key term, and it will take you to all the pages of the book that include that key term, and the key term will be highlighted as well. I want to point out the activity icons throughout the pages of the book, as you can see here. When I hover over it, a blue rectangle or square will appear, and by clicking on it, it will take me to an interactive experience on our companion website. This was a brief overview of our student textbook. I'm going to click the My Bookshelf tab in the top left corner to take me back to the main landing page. Next, we have our companion website. Remember, the companion website can be accessed within the pages of the textbook by clicking on the activity icons or within the toolbar. It can also be accessed from the main landing page here. This is our companion website. You can see the interactive activities are divided by chapters. I encourage you to check out these interactive tools. Next, let's look at the student workbook. The student workbook is also divided by chapters. I'll once again click on Chapter 6, the cardiovascular system. On the left-hand side, you'll see that familiar toolbar, allowing me to zoom in, zoom out, go to another chapter of the workbook, click again to close. I can also print pages of the workbook. The fourth button down, or the Resource tab, is going to take me to the workbook with form fields. This will allow students to have a digital copy of the workbook so they can type directly into the form fields and submit digitally. I'll look at Chapter 1, Case Study. Now you can see students can type directly into the form fields, and upon completion, submit digitally. I encourage you to click around and check out our workbook. I'll click the My Bookshelf tab to take me back to the main landing page. Now let's look at the resources that are available for teachers as well. Teachers, you'll have access to the Instructor's Edition and the Online Instructor Resources. I'll click on the Online Instructor Resources and click Instructor Resources. You'll see 3 gray tabs. I'll show you each of these gray tabs. First, Resource Material. At the top, you'll find information on the instructional package, instructional strategies, and introduction to course planning. There's additional introduction material located here. I'll minimize this gray tab. Next, Chapter Resources. Teachers, this is where you'll go most often to help plan and facilitate your course. Let's look at Chapter 6, the cardiovascular system. At the top, you'll find textbook answer keys, workbook answer keys. Every chapter has a lesson plan, and then you'll have any additional handouts and answer keys to go along with each chapter, as you can see here. Every chapter also has a PowerPoint presentation. It is in a format that you can edit as well. If I click on another chapter, you'll find that the format is the same. I'll minimize this gray tab. Lastly, assessment software and question pools. This is the software that is needed, or the question bank files that will be uploaded into your learning management system that will allow teachers to create and customize exams for students. If you choose to integrate with a learning management system, your learning management system will grade it for you as well. This was an overview of our online platform. Now is the time to update your curriculum. We offer print resources, digital resources, and bundle for those districts who prefer print and digital resources for students. We integrate with learning management systems, offer rostering implementation options, and teachers can post to other platforms such as Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams. We offer easy, quick implementation, training, professional development, and ongoing support. If you do not already have access to our online platform, first, contact your GW educational consultant today. Second, schedule a 60-day free preview and try the resources in your own classroom. Third, choose GW. Select implementation and training dates, and you are ready to get started. Let's work together to build careers.